Good morning and welcome to your Friday 5 for 5 on this last Friday of September 2022. As always on Friday mornings, I'm Adam Howard, the worship pastor here at First Baptist Church of the Islands in Savannah, Georgia. You know, this week in our 5 for 5 devotionals, we've been looking at our discipleship pathway here at Islands First. And this week, as we wrap that up, we talk about making disciples. Our other staff pastors have done a great job talking about this throughout the week. So if you missed any of those videos, I encourage you to check out our Facebook page or over on YouTube to watch all of the other videos from our other pastors this week. Hudson Taylor was a British missionary to China in the mid to late 1800s and the founder of the China Inland Mission. Well, D.E. Host, who followed him, wrote a book called Behind the Ranges that talks about making disciples, and I wanted to share something from that with you today. He was trying to analyze a problem he had seen while working in two different villages in China. The people whom he lived with and worked with were not doing very well, but the people in the other village across the ranges were doing great. He visited them only every now and then, but they were always doing fine. So he began to ask the Lord what was going on. How could those across the ranges be doing better than those he lived and worked with? Well, he says that the Lord showed him the answer. Although he was spending much of his time counseling, preaching, and teaching with those who he lived with, he spent much more time in prayer for those across the ranges. What he concluded was that there were four basic elements in making disciples: prayer, 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 and the Word. In that order and in about that proportion. You know, all this week our pastors have done a great job of talking about making disciples. So I want to wrap that up, put the icing on that cake this week by encouraging you to look at the four principles of discipleship from D.E. Host: prayer, prayer, and prayer. You know, as we try to make disciples, as we try to do what Christ has called us to do, I want you to undergird every bit of that with prayer. Prayer is important in all that we do. And if we go to prayer first and foremost, again, in about that order and that proportion, as he said, prayer, 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 and then the Word, God will do more than we could ever think or imagine. So as you've learned all this week about the importance of discipleship, I want to again put the cherry on top of that by reminding you and encouraging you to pray. Pray for God to give you opportunities to make disciples. Pray for God to give you opportunities to reach people, to talk with people, to help folks grow. And pray for God to put people in your path and situations in your path that you can be effective in making missionaries. Above all else, I want you to pray. Be people of prayer. Be men and women who are devoted to prayer and are devoted to allowing God to use you to further His kingdoms. You know, we're all called to make disciples. It's not just something we as pastors do, as you've heard this week, but it's something we all are called to do. And it's a huge part of our mission here at First Baptist Church of the Islands. We exist to love God, to serve others, and to make disciples. And if you're a member of us here, you're a part of that mission. So we encourage you to undergird all of that with prayer and to realize the importance of prayer. I hope everyone is safe. God really spared us this week, and we are so thankful for that. And I hope that you'll be with us on Sunday morning as we worship together at 9 and 10:30 a.m. There at the church. You can also worship with us online here at Facebook or YouTube. Have a great week. We'll see you guys soon. Love you. Bye-bye.